The Unique Link by Mrs. Lathrup's first grade class. Illustrated by Mrs. Lathrup's first grade class with help from art teacher Miss Feinbrenner. Once there was a girl named Lexi. Lexi was in the first grade, but her class wasn't just any first grade class. They had stayed together since kindergarten, and the kids in the class and their teacher, Mrs. Patrick, had gotten to know each other really well. Everyone loved Lexi until Samantha, the new girl, came to school. Ever since she came to school, everyone had forgotten all about Lexi. Samantha had fancy glasses, she always wears high heels, and her mom even lets her wear lipstick to school. Everyone thought she was awesome. Well, everyone except Lexi. She was so jealous of Samantha, she could hardly stand it. Lexi got up early to sneak up to take her older sister's lipstick from her purse, and she tiptoed out the door to wait for the bus. When she got on the bus, she tried to put on the lipstick, but the bus was really bumpy, so it got everywhere. When the bus arrived at school, of course Samantha had perfect lipstick. And when she saw Lexi, she just snickered at the sight of Lexi and her messy attempt at style. So Lexi ran to the bathroom and screamed at the reflection in the mirror. The next day she gave up on the lipstick, but she snuck into her older brother's room and took his glasses from his desk. But it didn't go well either. When Lexi got to school, she was sure her friends would notice how cool she looked. But instead, she heard, "Look, everybody, Lexi looks like a bug. Nice glasses. You look like a boy." That day, the teacher asked the class to line up for PE. "Lexi, did you bring shoes for the gym?" asked Mrs. Patrick. "No way," replied Lexi. "I'm way too stylish for stinky tennis shoes." "Okay, Lexi, but tomorrow try to bring better shoes. Safety first," replied Mrs. Patrick. "You could break your leg if you try to run in high heels." The class walked down the hall, the sound of Lexi's fancy red high heels clickety-clacked down the hall. When they arrived at the gym, the PE teacher, Mr. Limbach, had everything all set up for basketball. Lexi's tummy started to get that rumbly feeling she got when she was nervous. Lexi and the class came into the gym and sat at their squad seats on the floor. Mr. Limbach asked Lexi, "Why aren't you wearing tennis shoes?" Lexi started to think maybe tennis shoes weren't so stinky after all. All she could do was shrug her shoulders. Mr. Limbach quickly split the class into a girls' side and a boys' side and started to play basketball. "I like your shoes, Lexi," said Samantha with a smirk. Samantha did not like that Lexi always copied her style, and often would be mean to Lexi. Lexi tried to copy Samantha to be cool, but it ended up just making it worse. She felt like as much as she tried to be like the cool kid, it seemed to make everyone dislike her even more. As if making fun of her shoes was not bad enough, Samantha was great at everything, and Lexi had had enough. "Oh yeah, Samantha," Lexi blurted out impulsively, "I can slam dunk with my awesome shoes." Before she could take it back, Lexi realized her bad day had just gotten worse. All the girls started to cheer. Slam dunk, slam dunk, slam dunk. Lexi's stomach started to really rumble. "I think I want to go home," thought Lexi. But before Lexi could ask to go to the nurse, the entire gym erupted in cheers. She looked up to see Samantha hanging from the hoop after she pulled off an amazing slam dunk. Then Lexi's rumbling in her tummy turned into jealousy, and it was ready to spew out like a volcano. She ran to the hoop as fast as she could, but when she tried to jump, her high heel broke, and she fell right on top of Samantha. "Oh my goodness! Lexi, are you okay?" said Mr. Limbach as he came running towards the girls lying tangled in a pile on the floor. "I think I broke my leg. I might need to go to the hospital," replied Lexi. Mr. Limbach carried the girls down to the office because neither of them could walk on their hurt legs. "Are you girls okay?" asked the principal. "Do you need to go to the hospital?" The secretary called the ambulance to pick up the girls, and Mr. Limbach called their parents. Within minutes the ambulance arrived. The girls were rushed to the hospital. "I'm scared," said Lexi. "I am too," said Samantha. They arrived at the hospital, and the doctors took an X-ray of both girls' legs. They waited in two separate rooms for the doctor to return with news. When the doctor finally returned, he said, "You're free to go home, but you have to be in a wheelchair for a little while, until your leg heals." "I think I want to puke," thought Lexi. The doctor and the nurse left to prepare to put Lexi's leg in a cast. Lexi started to get upset. She does not like to be different. "A wheelchair? No one at my school is in a wheelchair," she thought. She was scared of being unique, and she started to cry. She heard another voice crying on the other side of the wall. "Samantha, is that you?" Lexi said, fighting back her own tears. "Lexi?" wept Samantha. "I'm scared." "Me too, Sam," replied Lexi. And for the first time, the girls didn't seem so different. But before Lexi could say anything else to Sam, her parents came bursting in. Lexi's mom was very overdramatic and was crying and hugging and kissing her little girl. Lexi looked down and realized her parents had brought a box with them. "A box? For me?" said Lexi with a pouty voice. Her parents nodded, and Lexi took that as permission to open it. She tore open the box and saw lots of stinky tissue paper. "Oh my goodness, why would my crazy parents bring me stinky tissue paper because I broke my leg?" thought Lexi. Then she saw a fuzzy black tail and a white stripe down its black back. "A skunk? You brought me a skunk?" screamed Lexi. "I'm going to name it Keith." The doctor came back in and asked Lexi, "What color do you want your cast to be?" "What? White, of course. I don't want anyone to laugh at me." When they finished, the family loaded up the car and went home with Lexi in a new cast as white as snow and a stinky pet skunk on her lap. That night, Lexi couldn't sleep because she was worried about going to school tomorrow in a wheelchair. The next morning, she told her mom, "I don't want to go to school in a wheelchair. I'll look different." "I can't be different. Everyone makes fun of me enough when I try to look like everyone else. What are they going to say when I look completely different than everyone else?" As Lexi's mom drove her to school, she started to get that nervous feeling in her stomach again. Little did she know it was about to get even worse. When her mom helped her from the car to her wheelchair, she slipped and fell right into a mud puddle. Now, not only was Lexi nervous about being in a wheelchair, now she was feeling embarrassed about having mud all over her. Once she got into the school, all the girls she thought were her friends started laughing at her because she looked funny. But once the laughing stopped, she heard a kind voice from behind her say, "Are you okay?" Lexi turned around to find Samantha with a concerned look on her face. Lexi didn't realize the doctor had put Samantha in a wheelchair too, because she had a cast from the accident. Lexi thought maybe she wasn't different from everyone after all. Later that day, while Lexi was at recess, she realized she couldn't do anything like she used to. She couldn't get on top of the slide, she couldn't pull herself to get up on the swing, and all the other kids were zooming past her. She felt like a piñata at a birthday party. At the end of the day, her arms were so tired she could hardly wheel herself outside to wait for her mom. Because she was hunched over in exhaustion, her long hair got tangled in her wheel. Lexi tried to get her hair untangled, but the harder she pulled, the more it became stuck. Then she heard a friendly voice again say, "Can I help?" At first she was surprised to see Samantha as she started to get her hair untangled from the wheel. She knew at that point Samantha wasn't so bad after all. "Lex, I got out enough for you to wheel yourself, but I think we might need to cut the rest out." Lexi was speechless at the words Samantha had said. "But I think you will be beautiful anyway," encouraged Samantha. "You look different and unique." "But I don't want to be different," whined Lexi. "I can't cut my hair." As Lexi fell boneless in a dramatic show, Samantha said, "Oh, Lexi, give me a break. Your hair is not what makes you cool. It's okay to be different. It's cool to be unique." "You to what?" Lexi was confused. "Unique," explained Samantha. "Unique is being who you are. They're proud of it." Before Lexi could reply, Samantha pulled a pair of scissors out of her backpack to try to cut Lexi's tangled hair free. Just as she went to cut the first piece, Lexi turned her head to try to stop Samantha. Snip! Samantha accidentally clipped a huge chunk right by Lexi's eye. "What did you do?" screamed Samantha. I think we need an emergency sleepover," whispered Samantha. The girls rushed to Samantha's house to figure out a way to fix the mess they made. While they were there, Samantha tried to talk to Lexi about being unique. They read books together to learn about how it's cool to be unique. They read the book It's Okay to Be Different by Todd Parr, and Lexi started to feel better. They played board games and played on the iPad, and after dinner they went outside to play. Outside, they even played basketball in their wheelchairs. "You know what, Samantha? You were right. It's cool to be unique. Maybe I should have had the doctor make my cast a little more unique after all." Samantha had an idea. "Let's decorate your cast like a rainbow." "Yeah, that'll be unique for sure," shouted Lexi. A fun evening, laughing and playing. They fell asleep laughing and giggling under the stars. The next morning Lexi went home and was so excited to tell her parents about how cool it is to be unique. But before she got out a word, her mom screamed and passed out at the sight of Lexi's chopped up hair. Lexi's dad came running to help her mom. When her mom woke up, they all went to the salon to fix Lexi's hair. While she was there, she thought about the words her friend Samantha had taught her. She suddenly got an idea. "Let's make the short piece Sam cut into rainbow bangs." When Lexi got up the next morning, she was so excited to show all the girls at school her new, unique style. She got into her closet and got out her favorite blue tutu, red high heels, and a white t-shirt. She looked perfect until her pet skunk Keith wandered in without Lexi noticing. While Lexi was putting on her shoes, it started to get kind of stinky. "Keith!" Keith had sprayed her tutu. "What am I going to do?" thought Lexi. But suddenly she had another plan. She got out her markers for a quick wardrobe change. "That's better," thought Lexi, and she headed off to school, without that nervous feeling in her stomach this time. But when she got to school, everyone was laughing and giggling. "P.U. Gross! Stink! Oh!" But before Lexi had time to get embarrassed, she heard someone shout, "It's Lexi time!" Samantha pulled out her phone and turned on Lexi's favorite song. Everyone started to cheer, and Lexi broke out dancing in her wheelchair. "Thanks, Sam." Lexi smiled and winked at Samantha. Then the bell rang, and everyone danced off to class. The rest of the day only got better. When they went out to recess, she found lots of things she could do, even in her wheelchair. She had so much fun laughing and enjoying the sun with her friends. The next day, when she got to school, she couldn't believe it. Girls, boys, teachers, even the custodian was wearing a blue tutu and had a pet skunk on a pink leash. And for the first time, Lexi was sad about not being different from everyone else. "See, Lex," said Samantha, "I told you being unique is cool."